You saw Bill.
They're going to move.
Well, look,
they're already moving.
Hold on, Bill Ackman.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
People say they're going to move all the time after elections. They don't do it.
Bill Ackman said he was going to move.
You know how many people moved out of New York City in the last 3 years? 600,000. They're moving.
Yeah, they're moving. They've been moving from COVID.
You know how many people moved out of your state, California?
Oh, I know. No,
Under Newsom?
Yeah, no. People do move. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
People move.
A surprising trend has emerged. Many people are moving out of blue states. You might expect these traditionally liberal regions to create policies that improve quality of life for their residents, but that doesn't seem to be the case. On a recent episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, the outspoken host offered a candid explanation for why people are leaving, and his take is genuinely intriguing. There's a lot to explore here, so let's dive in.
That Mamdani's election will lead more financial organizations to leave New York City for Wall Street South in Florida. Tell me, I've read that term just recently, Wall Street South, Florida. This is your state. What is that?
A lot of Wall Street guys have moved to Palm Beach. It's been happening really since COVID. It's accelerated with increases in taxes. It's not just out of New York. It's New Jersey, Connecticut, it's Chicago, it's California.
So they're fleeing high tax blue states for Florida.
Maher raised a sharp question. Why are so many businesses leaving blue states and heading to Florida? He didn't wait long to answer: high taxes. But that's just the beginning. According to Maher, the economic pressures in these liberal states have become overwhelming for businesses trying to survive. And it isn't only companies feeling the strain, everyday residents are moving out as well. The INA moment. We'll show you clips that break down the reasons behind this growing migration and reveal the additional factors pushing people away from blue states. From strict regulations to skyrocketing living costs, there's a deeper story behind this exodus, and it's one worth paying attention to.
He got elected because his district is going to explode. My house, I live 8 miles outside of Queens, has gone up 20% in value since Mamdani announced. Okay?
Because
people aren't going to pay the punishing taxes. New York is the highest tax state in the union.
But you said your house value has gone up.
Yeah, because they're moving to Nassau County.
Oh, they're moving out of the city.
Out of the city, and they can still take the train back in the city and not pay the millionaires' tax.
O'Reilly lays out a clear explanation for why so many people are leaving New York, and he says it comes down to one major issue: the dreaded millionaire tax. New York is home to a disproportionately large share of the nation's wealthiest residents. Many of America's top billionaires and millionaires live there, and collectively, they contribute nearly 60% of the country's tax revenue. That means the city's financial stability hinges heavily on this group. So, when the idea of raising taxes surfaced again, it wasn't just controversial, it felt unbearable to those already shouldering most of the burden. Still, Manny showed little concern about the potential fallout. After winning the mayoral election and signaling his commitment to the tax hike, the response was immediate. High-income earners started packing up and moving, taking their wealth and tax dollars with them. According to O'Reilly, this exodus wasn't a surprise. It was the predictable result of policies that, in his view, punished the very people keeping New York economically afloat.
Unless the state okays it, and the state is not going to okay it. So this is just smoke and mirrors. And the younger people voted for him.
Of course, Mamdani would still need state approval before his proposed millionaire's tax could ever be implemented, and given the current political climate, that approval seems highly unlikely. And that's where the real problem emerges. This isn't merely a legislative hurdle, it raises serious questions about Mamdani's credibility. He campaigned forcefully on the promise that the wealthy would finally pay their fair share, presenting the millionaire's tax as a central achievement voters could rely on. But now, with the state showing no interest in supporting the plan, that pledge is beginning to look less like serious policy and more like political theater. Supporters who expected meaningful tax reform are starting to wonder whether Mamdani overstated his influence, or underestimated the very system he vowed to change. Either way, the chances of this tax ever taking effect appear slim. And the unfulfilled promise now hangs uneasily over his administration.
Move. I mean, you saw Bill.
They're going to move.
Well, look,
they're already moving.
Hold on, Bill Ackman.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
People say they're going to move all the time after elections. They don't do it.
Bill Ackman said he was going to move.
You know how many people moved out of New York City in the last 3 years? 600,000. They're moving.
Yeah, they're moving. They've been moving from COVID.
You know how many people moved out of your state, California?
Oh, I know.
Under Newsom?
Yeah, no. People do move. There's no doubt about that. People move.
It's almost as if Representative Jared is refusing to acknowledge the obvious. People aren't leaving blue states because they're suddenly feeling adventurous, they're leaving because the economic policies have become unsustainable. Take New York, for example. More than 500,000 residents have moved out, driven largely by relentless tax increases and an economic climate that feels more punitive than supportive. Then there's California, often cited as the poster child for overregulation. Close to 1 million people have left the state, frustrated by a maze of bureaucracy and some of the highest taxes in the country. Yet despite these striking numbers, Jared continues to downplay the situation, treating it as though these departures are mere coincidences or temporary trends. But the reality is difficult to ignore. People are voting with their feet, and the message is clear: these policies aren't working.
I know.
Under Newsom?
Yeah, no. People do move. There's no doubt about that. People move in America, and you're right.
No, but they're not moving because they want a better view. They like to keep more of their money that they earn.
Yeah, that's true.
Florida is a really good case study. So when DeSantis became governor, there were 250,000 more registered Democrats in Florida when he became governor 8 years ago. Now there's 1.4 million more registered Republicans in Florida. That's all migration from COVID and re-registration from COVID, 100%. Right. So it absolutely is happening. Whether they will abandon New York in droves, I mean, Bill Ackman's a really good example. He said he was going to leave, right? He's been going after Mamdani. He spent a lot of money on him. And then the day Mamdani won, he said, I'm willing to talk and sit down and work with you. That doesn't sound like he's packing his bags. Well,
it's not everybody, but look, if you're a person in New York City earning $150,000, okay, that's a lot of money for most people in the United States. That's nothing in New York City. 150K doesn't get you very much. Right. It gets you in and out.
You can almost see the Democratic politician grasping for a defense in real time. Instead of facing the hard reality that people are leaving blue states because daily life has become increasingly difficult, he tries to reframe the narrative by pointing to Florida. But that comparison collapses quickly. If this were merely about COVID or some vague post-pandemic reshuffling, the migration patterns wouldn't be so strikingly one-directional. Which raises the key question: if this is just a natural adjustment, why are the vast majority of people moving from blue states to red states, and not the other way around? Where are the large numbers of Floridians, Texans, or Tennesseans fleeing to California or New York? The answer is clear to everyone except those determined to ignore it. People are choosing red states because they offer lower taxes, fewer regulations, safer communities, and a more sustainable cost of living. The evidence speaks for itself.
The working people at a certain level are going to say, I'm going to the congressman's state because there's no state tax there. There's no local tax there. I get to keep more of my money. This isn't complicated.
Well, I I've looked at moving because I'd like to keep more of my money too. And
where should Maher move?
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not moving anywhere.
No?
No.
Not going to stay?
And the taxes here are ridiculous, but it's still Southern California.
Right.
Okay.
Ma may choose to stay in California out of nostalgia, the emotional ties, the memories, and the attachment to the place he's called home for decades. But for many others, sentiment isn't enough to outweigh the harsh realities of living there. Thousands have already left, concluding that the state's famously high taxes no longer align with the quality of life they're supposedly funding. Californians pay some of the highest tax rates in the country, yet the core problems remain unresolved. With all that revenue, you'd expect meaningful progress, better wildfire prevention, upgraded infrastructure, or real strides in addressing homelessness. But none of that has materialized. Instead, residents watch their hard-earned money funnel into a system that seems unable, or unwilling, to deliver tangible results.
The Trump administration, they talked about the fact that California had a rule that schools cannot be required to notify parents if their kids in school have changed their gender, their pronouns. That's the kind of thing, even though it doesn't affect a lot of people, that makes a lot of people go, well, you know what? That's the party without common sense. Now, if that's your state, how are you?
Well, I just disagree with that. I mean, the law was you would be fired. A teacher would be fired if a teacher did not report or snitch on a kid talking about their gender identity. I just think that was wrong. I think teachers should teach. I don't think they should be required to turn in kids. And by the way,
we're talking about their parents. How can you snitch? The idea of a snitch and a parent to me doesn't compute.
Well,
This may not be the primary reason people are leaving California, but it's certainly an issue that rubs many residents the wrong way. Policies and rhetoric that portray teachers as the snitches simply for informing parents about their own children's gender transition decisions strike many as misguided. After all, parents are the individuals legally and morally responsible for their children's well-being, not to many families. Keeping parents in the dark about something as significant and life-changing as a gender transition feels not only illogical, but deeply unsettling. For them, this isn't just a political issue, it's a matter of basic parental rights and transparency. And when the state appears to favor secrecy over openness, it breeds distrust. While this might not be the leading cause of California's migration trend, it has undeniably become a cultural flashpoint, one that's causing some residents to question whether the state still reflects their values.
appreciate that.
I was on KBLA yesterday, with my friend Tavis Smiley. I'm an investor and a supporter of that station. And he said, who do you want to run for president? I mentioned, I think you'd be good at the job. Not this year, we know. No, I know. But he said, I don't think he could win. I don't think he could win. He's too progressive coming from this state and what he's done in this state to win in any southern state, any red state. I disagreed, but no, this is a progressive African-American owned station, and I'm sure they like you, but he doesn't think you can win. What do you say to that if you could win look at the swing state?
Many Californians are growing increasingly frustrated with Gavin Newsom's leadership. Critics argue that if this is how he manages a single state, one with immense resources and global influence, then promoting him to the presidency could be a risky gamble. As a result, a significant number of voters say they wouldn't support him as the Democratic Party's nominee, believing his track record simply doesn't inspire confidence. Beyond disputes over progressive policies, there's a deeper concern. Many believe Newsom lacks the disciplined leadership needed to navigate the complex challenges facing the nation. From rampant homelessness and rising costs to ongoing governance controversies, his critics see patterns of mismanagement rather than meaningful solutions. For these disillusioned voters, the idea of him leading the entire country raises more red flags than hope. Ultimately, the ongoing exodus from blue states like California and New York tells a story that's hard to ignore. High taxes, excessive regulations, and policies that feel disconnected from everyday reality are pushing residents and businesses to seek more stable, affordable, and manageable environments, often in red states. Politicians who downplay or spin these trends risk appearing out of touch, clinging to narratives that conflict with the lived experiences of their constituents. Whether it's economic strain, cultural clashes, or frustration with governance, people are voting with their feet, and the numbers speak for themselves. This should serve as a wake-up call for policymakers and political observers alike. When ambition outweighs practicality, states risk losing the very residents who sustain them. Voters are increasingly looking for leadership that aligns not only with their values but with their day-to-day realities, and that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.